Hello, everyone. Welcome into Post-Show Headlines. I'm Andrew Salciunas with my man, John Kincade. Post-Show Headlines, we do it after every single show. 5 topics, 2 minutes apiece, 10 minutes, and then we're out of here, Johnny. And the floor is yours to start. You have a Rob Thompson related question. By the way, in case people wonder, we don't discuss these before.
No, we do not.
I try to order it a certain way, so I'll say, John, what do you got? And he'll just say, Rob Thompson. And so I go,
yes.
All right, that'll be the lead because it's Phillies and it's something sports related. So what do we have?
I obviously I get frustrated with Topper.
I know you do.
And I think that it's sort of like substitute teacher syndrome, that he doesn't really put the hammer down. I really admired last night how he handled coming out and talking about the Rojas. It was Rojas's ball. He was not even, he didn't like try to cover for it or anything. Yep. Put him right there, but saying that Sosa definitely played into the
and
problem.
Wheeler didn't have his best stuff.
Okay,
he gave all that information.
But with Rob Thompson, though, strategist. What do you think of Rob Thompson, the strategist? And do you consider Rob Thompson an asset, a liability, or...
I don't believe he's a liability. And I have to not just live in the realm of 2022 where he pushed every button right except for Game 6 of the World Series. Even though I've said it, I did not hate the decision, hated the result, and if you had your ace going, you might want to stick with your ace. So I understand that's a conversation.
In the last game of the year.
I get it. Game 6, the Kimbrel decision. But then again, we have since found out that some of the decisions weren't necessarily his.
Correct.
And they may have been phone calls from upstairs. So how can I completely crush Rob Thompson when I know there's meddling being done? And how can I completely live off of 2022? I can't do that anymore. I think he is a very fine manager.
I think that he is meh as far as the things he does well. I think he does very well. And I believe me, I totally embrace the idea of you make a good workplace, you're going to get the best results. And I do believe he's there. But I also do believe that he's not.
Was there something you didn't like yesterday?
I look at I didn't like Sosa in left field. And that's why I'm asking about. That is a strategy decision.
Yep.
And that was a decision that was his, according to him.
Right.
His decision. I would have absolutely had him at second base. So
over Stott, who went hitless
I would have had him.
last
I would have
night.
had him at second base, and I would have had Kepler in left field.
Yeah,
that's just me. But that is where strategy comes into play. I think he's so intent on getting Sosa in there that I think he made a mistake last night, and I think he hurt his team.
Yeah, that drop by Rojas, or the non-catch by Rojas, I should say.
The non-catch by Rojas.
The story is that Sosa was saying you, which if you ever play baseball, you never say you. It's only mine.
Right.
Right. Like it's.
Well, more importantly, the left fielder in that play should not have been saying anything.
Yeah, it's the center fielder. The center fielder is the leader,
sure.
And that's inexperience. That's all it is.
Yeah.
Like that's.
So you're throwing a guy in left field who's never played
there. And that's
there.
why when Connor yesterday said, "Oh, just give it a shot." Like this is.
Yeah.
It's not just can he catch a baseball. It's can you do everything else. People think, I said it on the show today, people think first base is like some easy position because you just got to stand on first. No, you got to read so many things. Hops, not just when the ball is hit to you, but if you got to pick a throw from the third base or shortstop or second base, there's a million things.
How to hold runners on.
Yeah, exactly. How to jump off the bag after the pitch is thrown. All right, question 2. I'm going to give you this one. So you were telling me about the Kincade and the Super Bowl photos.
Yes.
So when you say the dagger, I know exactly what you're talking about. It's Devontae Smith. It's the Devontae Smith touchdown. Nick Sirianni said, go for the dagger. What other sort of terms or slogans that you say that people know right away? Like if I say Philly special, you know right away it's the Nick Foles touchdown.
There's one, and it's going to annoy you a little bit.
Okay.
It's the most annoying of all them. Because to me, when you give a title to something, when you name a play, it's because it led to something.
Okay.
It was part of the step over. I hate it.
Why?
Every time people are referring to the step over because they got their teeth kicked in. I understand the play was at the moment very, very exciting. get their asses kicked.
Yeah, but it was.
I don't think you name a play.
It was iconic that they went into LA and won
game one.
When
could have won game two.
Could have won game two. And look, highlights are highlights. Like there are probably, I'm just gonna guess. If you Googled the top 20 dunks of all time,
okay,
I bet you some of them they're losing in these games.
No, but to me,
but it's still a
if
highlight.
You're going to name a play, you're naming Philly Special. You're naming the dagger. You're naming the pick six is forever going to be Cooper DeJean.
Right.
In this organization, the pick six. Everybody just knows them. Is there another one?
I think of Patrick Robinson too.
Yeah, that's another one too.
NFC title game.
Okay,
when you're losing.
But it has to lead to something.
It leads to something.
I don't like a 4-1 defeat where you rolled over for 3 straight games after it was 1-1. Just got your ass.
Step over's iconic, man. It's iconic.
Hate it.
You and your Iverson.
Hate it.
All right, you have a general sports conversation.
Yeah, a general sports conversation for you. So let me just give you this. Is that we are in a little bit of a feud with Blooper, the knockoff fanatic. When the marketing department comes up with an idea and says, let's just do something. And everyone goes, boy, this is great. We're going to create a team mascot.
Yes.
And then it's just a complete knockoff of somebody else. And no one in the room goes, are we just going to get ripped because this is like a complete ripoff?
Yeah.
Well, not to get too much into Blooper, but the idea is I realized when I go to a game, I pay attention to none of that. I don't tend to pay attention to the Fanatic's dance, and I love the Fanatic.
Yeah.
When I'm at a game, not when I'm on when they show stuff on TV, I watch it. When I'm at a game, the between inning games, the person on the microphone doing the I tend to recognize
even as a fan.
Yeah.
Because when
I go, I tend to recognize none of that.
When you're in the media room,
I recognize like area, none of it.
You're talking to your fellow baseball people.
No, but when I go into games in the stands and watch a game, I don't watch. I don't know what the thing is. Though I wonder what I'm doing because like between innings,
I think that's
I don't
weird.
like. I'm like I don't like. I noticed that they the cap shuffle game on opening day.
Sometimes I pay attention.
And Connor thinks they've dumbed it down. By the way, for the Philly fan base, the cap shuffle this year. If you can't do the cap,
one was hard this year.
Well, I'm telling you this: at the Phillies, if you can't do the cap shuffle at the Phillies this year.
Gotta get the eyes checked.
You don't know. You don't need to be like holding a job. It's like really they've simplified it. It's really simple.
I don't know if it's still true, but there used to be a formula to know exactly what it was.
A formula, really?
Yeah.
Really?
I don't know if I want to expose it.
Okay, don't do that. Yeah.
All right. Question number 4. And by the way, like I do like watching like when they show the highlights around the league highlights. Like I like that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
It's baseball.
They just don't tend to do much of that anymore, or I don't pay attention to it.
Speaking of slogans, so I said the dagger, that's the touchdown for Devontae Smith. We have the Masters this weekend, starting tomorrow.
A tradition like no other.
When I say, hello, friends, you know who I'm talking about. It's Jim Nantz.
Yes.
Some of your favorite catchphrases or moments, or when you say, this game means this person.
Do you believe in miracles?
Al
Michaels.
Yeah.
Booyah.
Stuart Scott.
The late great Stuart Scott.
So like the Masters is Nantz. Hello, friends is Nantz. I'll give you one. The Iron Bowl.
The Iron Bowl with Uncle Vern.
Always Vern Lundquist, and
Vern's
also hole 16.
Yes.
Vern Lundquist,
up on hole 16. By the way, if you ever saw where he broadcast from in that,
yeah,
I think you may have been scared to death to be up in it.
Oh, really? Oh, yeah. He's in like those little.
He's in those towers that you have to walk, and then you're up in that tower, and when it's windy, it moves.
Oh, yeah.
And when it's windy, it moves.
Yeah.
No, there's things that are iconic. Vern being in those situations to me definitely is one of them.
Yeah.
That I miss.
Like, is there other like? I think of. I know this is very just us.
Okay.
When somebody says the swing of his life, I know it's Joe Davis when Bryce Harper hit the
right.
Bedlam at the bank. Bedlam at the bank. Fransky.
Well, Bedlam at the bank. Scott Fransky's. That's iconic.
Right. Exactly.
That's it. I honestly don't. The Joe one I don't really even doesn't even hit.
Really doesn't hit you.
No.
The swing of his life.
No, more than the fact is all I remember is coming off my couch and being like, "Oh my God, he did that."
Yeah, but I watched that highlight 7,000 times.
Yeah, and you know what's funny is when I watch the highlight, I don't tend to hear it.
I got
tend
you.
to watch the highlight.
Yeah.
I'm seeing things that I didn't see or watch it. I have that in a lithograph.
Okay.
Beautiful lithograph. Unbelievable. Of when Harper makes
when you hit
connection
the
to that
home
ball.
run.
Amazing.
All right,
Absolutely
last one. In honor of Edmundo Sosa, who had a 0 for 3 night at the plate yesterday. We usually save the last question for like some wild stuff. But you know what? We got to give Edmundo some love.
Okay.
Who is, or give me a couple if you want, your favorite role players?
Oh, wow.
Doesn't just have to be baseball. Of all time in Philadelphia sports.
Oh, wow. When I was a kid, no question. And it's too young for you. Del Unser.
Okay.
Ask your father about Del Unser.
Second base.
Del Unser was maybe the greatest pinch hitter in Philly's history. In the next era, the
Greg
era
Dobbs.
of Ricky, the next era, Ricky Bottalico era, it was Greg Gross.
Okay.
And Greg Gross became that guy who was the role player, the fill-in guy.
That people wanted to
who
play more.
Who just always seemed to deliver.
Right.
Dobbs was
great.
Like, I mean, as far as you're talking about favorites, baseball seems to have maybe more of those guys that just makes it a little more.
Yeah, it's dying off a little bit now that it's the universal DH.
Right.
You don't have that guy that every night you knew was going to probably get an at-bat.
I can tell you when I worked for the Flyers, Ed Hospodar was that for the Flyers.
Okay.
Ed Hospodar coming in from the Rangers, then coming in here and just brought in here just to beat the crap out of somebody for no reason, but just to stir up trouble.
Yeah.
And the pregame brawl in Montreal.
Yep.
Where Ed Hospodar is getting into it and Chico Resch is getting into it. That was glorious, absolutely glorious. And I remember going down from the press box, watching during warm-ups. I had a job to do during warm-ups. Come downstairs to the locker room, and Keenan is smiling ear to ear.
That's awesome.
That it happened.
That's great.
And the thing is, the man never smiled ear to ear about almost anything.
Right.
He loved the fact that his team was screwing around with Montreal before that big game.
Now, football, you can't really have one unless it's like a special teams ace. Like a kick returner, punt
like
returner.
a kick returner, punt returner back in the day. I would say
I think of Dante Hall.
Well, I mean, drawing a blank.
Hester.
From New Orleans, running back. There was the punt returner for us here just the last few. Darren Sproles.
Darren Sproles. But he was also a good back.
Yeah.
He was a good.
He was a good back, but he was not like a.
Isn't he top 10 all-time yards?
And not with us,
scrimmage?
though. Not with us.
Oh, I got it.
I'm thinking about us. You said Philadelphia.
Okay.
I think Darren Sproles coming in here and being like the lightning in a bottle.
Yeah. Okay, fair.
I loved that for the Eagles. But you're right. You don't really
kind of hard. It's your starters. And
when I was a kid, Tony
Avant,
Franklin, as a specialist, like a kicker,
I
could sort of see him kicking barefoot.
Right.
To me, I never understood it. And I remember interviewing Tony Franklin as a young student broadcaster.
Oh, that's awesome.
And getting a chance to just say, what if with your foot, tell me how your foot doesn't break. Show this. And he literally took the time to go through this. He goes, look at my foot. And he goes, do me a favor, feel this foot. Like, I was like, feel my feet. You can feel how it was beaten up.
Somebody might love
beaten up.
Being given that opportunity.
Rex Ryan, I'm surprised didn't try to get him out of retirement.
Everybody have a great rest of your day.
Those are some real nice feet.
Please like and subscribe everything.
One of my favorite drops of all time.
That's going on our YouTube page. Rex, if you're listening, please like and subscribe. We would appreciate it. Everybody have a great rest of your day. Back at it tomorrow here on The Fanatic. Hey guys, Andrew Salciunas from Kincade and Salciunas. Thank you for checking out all of our stuff on YouTube. Make sure you click, like, subscribe on everything that you see. And of course, you can see everything from our YouTube feed. Full shows, interviews, when John's being an idiot, which is like 15 times a day. So make sure you check out all of our stuff on YouTube. We appreciate it.